My husband's nanny was returning to her hometown. She suddenly came to see me, but left behind only a single warning.
Madam, this old servant has served the Shen family for 20 years. I shouldn't meddle. But I know you are a good person, madam. Before I leave, I wanted to give you a warning. Whatever you do, never enter the young master's study.
What on earth is hidden in my husband's study? What is happening to me? Husband, save me.
Lingyi, stop making a scene. The Empress Dowager bestowed Ninger upon me, only out of pity for her background. After the spring feast, I will take you to plead with the Empress Dowager to take you as my esteemed concubine.
Brother Heng, it is all my fault. Sister Xie is unhappy because of me.
This is not your fault. Lingyi, be sensible. Trust me this once.
I have been reborn. In my past life, I believed Shen Zhiheng's promises, defied the Empress Dowager, and rejected the bestowed marriage, only to die at the door of his study. Now, I will never believe your lies again. Nor will I ever step into the Shen household. I am not unhappy. The Empress Dowager has already betrothed me to the heir of the Prince of Huanan. I will not join the crowd in your Shen family backyard. Give the honor of being your equal wife to someone else.
Stop fooling around. Go to the Empress Dowager right now and tell her you have fallen suddenly ill, so you can call off the marriage with Xiao Ce. Did you not hear what I said?
I, Xie Lingyi, humbly thank the Empress Dowager for her grace.
Xie Lingyi, do you even know what you are saying?
Young General Shen, the Empress Dowager's decree has been issued. From now on, we shall each go our separate ways in marriage, have nothing to do with each other. This intimate way of addressing me, please refrain from using it in the future.
Xie Lingyi, have you had enough of this tantrum? The Empress Dowager hasn't gone far. It is still not too late to catch up to her.
Catch up to her for what? To call off the marriage with Xiao Ce? Just to watch you marry her in grand style?
Sister Xie, it is all my fault. Please do not use your lifelong happiness to act out of spite against Brother Heng.
Shut up. You have no right to speak here.
Xie Lingyi, Ninger is kindly advising you. What is with your attitude? You accepted the marriage with Xiao Ce in public. Are you doing this on purpose to make Ninger bear the reputation of stealing someone else's husband?
So young General Shen only cares about her reputation.
You are crazy.
Cutting the sleeve to sever our ties. Shen Zhiheng. From now on, we shall each marry others and have nothing to do with each other anymore.
Lingyi. Lingyi. You're awake. The physician said you fainted from a sudden fit of anger. Stop throwing tantrums. Tomorrow, I will have your father go to court to beg His Majesty to call off the bestowed marriage with Xiao Ce.
Call off the marriage with Xiao Ce, and then what?
Naturally, everything will go back to how it was. With our 8 years of affection, how could I watch you marry someone else? As long as you call it off with Xiao Ce, I will arrange the rest of the matters myself.
He doesn't say a single word about his bestowed marriage to Su Jinning. He has clearly made up his mind to wait until I call off my marriage, so he can coax me into entering his household as a concubine. The Empress Dowager's decree has been issued. I cannot hope to match young General Shen's arrangements. Please leave.
Lingyi, I already said I would arrange everything. Do you really have to use your own marriage just to spite me?
Qinglang, see our guest out.
Young General Shen, Our Lady needs to rest. Please leave.
Yer. If you truly do not want to marry into the Prince of Huainan's manor, even if it risks the entire Xie family, your father will go to the Empress Dowager to have this marriage decree rescinded.
Just say the word, and I will request an audience with His Majesty tomorrow.
Mother, I have made up my mind. Since the affection is gone, I will never look back. The heir of the Prince of Huainan is a good match. In my past life, my parents suffered endless ridicule for my sake and died of grief. In this life, I will never repeat those mistakes. Shen Zhiheng, the secret in your study, I will uncover that as well.
Lingyi, can you truly let go of your engagement with the Shen family? The way young General Shen looked at you just now, it was as if he wanted to devour you whole.
Today we only discuss poetry. Do not mention others, lest it spoil the mood.
Exactly. Our Lingyi is now the future consort of the heir. Who would still care about someone whose heart is entirely with another?
Miss C, please go to the front courtyard quickly. Young General Shen and Yang Chengzhi are fighting. If they keep fighting, someone will die.
Why are you looking for me because of his fight?
Everyone in the capital knows that with young General Shen's temper, only you can persuade him. Please go and stop them. I beg of you.
Brother Heng, does it hurt? It is all my fault for dragging you into this and making you suffer such physical pain.
It is no matter. Don't cry. Your eyes are all red. Stop right there. Did I say you could leave? You slandered Ning. Today you must, in front of everyone, apologize to her.
General Shen. My sister cried all night after she got back. Could it be that I falsely accused her?
It seems the lesson just now wasn't enough for you.
Calm down, General. Don't be impulsive.
Miss Su. I was momentarily muddled. I apologize to you.
You are too polite, Lord Yang. It doesn't matter if Ninger suffers a little grievance, as long as it doesn't ruin your harmony with Brother Heng.
She is truly sensible. Miss Su is so kind-hearted.
Lord Yang is severely injured. If we delay any longer, it will leave permanent damage. Qinglang, take Lord Yang in our Xie family carriage to the medical clinic in the east of the city for treatment.
Thank you very much.
Xie Lingyi, you clearly know he just bullied Ninger, yet you insist on helping him. Are you deliberately trying to upset me?
General Shen should just mind his own business. Qinglang, help him.
Xie Lingyi, if you dare to help him today, even if you call off your marriage with Xiao Ce in the future, I will absolutely never marry you.
Brother Heng, don't let anger ruin your health. Sister Xi just can't bring herself to back down.
Can't bring herself to back down. I'd like to see how long she can keep up this act.
Miss, Shen Zhiheng is far too arrogant. He actually dared to say in public that you would beg him in tears.
An egotistical person always thinks the whole world should revolve around him. Has Yang Chengzhi been sent to the clinic?
He has been sent, and I left some medicine. The doctor said they are all superficial wounds, and he will recover in a few days.
Superficial wounds heal easily, but a ruined reputation cannot be mended. Yang Chengzi's father is a censor of the censorate. By resorting to violence on the street, Shen Zhiheng was slapping the face of the censorate.
Do you mean my lady?
Arrogance and conceit will always demand a price sooner or later.
Brother Heng, this jade bracelet is far too precious. Ninger does not deserve this.
As long as you like it. Any treasure or antique in this capital, I will buy them all for you.
These past few days, young General Shen has been accompanying Miss Su to temple fairs and lantern festivals. They seem so happy. Some people put on a proud front, but who knows how hard they are crying in secret.
What is the use of being so aloof? In the end, won't she still have to call off the imperial marriage and enter the Shen family as a concubine?
My lady, I have investigated. The rumors started last night when Shen Zhiheng got drunk at Zuisian Tavern and personally bragged to others. He said you love him so deeply that you will beg him to take you as a concubine sooner or later.
8 years of affection, and he certainly makes full use of it.
Why is Miss C not speaking? Could it be a guilty conscience?
Qinglang, note down the names of these two families. Let's return to the manor. Father, your daughter has a request.
The rumors outside, I have heard them. That Shen boy has gone too far. I was just planning to have someone warn him.
A warning is not enough. I request Father to, during tomorrow's morning court, publicly impeach the Shen family.
Impeach them for what?
Impeach the Shen family for failing to manage their household, allowing their son to drunkenly and recklessly discuss the marriage bestowed by the Empress Dowager. And while you are at it, impeach the two young ladies who were gossiping at the banquet just now, accusing their fathers of failing to educate their daughters properly. Since Shen Zhiheng dared to use my reputation for his schemes, he should have known that this is a price he cannot afford to pay.
Father will write it right away.
You absolute bastard. Grand Tutor Xie submitted a memorial to the throne, and His Majesty issued a decree to punish us in public. The Shen family's face has been completely disgraced by you. Get yourself to the military camp for training. Without my military order, you are not allowed to take a single step into the capital.
Lingyi, just to make me bow my head to you, you actually brought Grand Tutor Xie into this. Lingyi, you had your father impeach me in court, so your anger should have subsided by now. My being good to Su Jinning was only to make you angry. I have already rebuilt Qinfang Court, according to your preferences. Su Jinning's reputation has been ruined, so I have no choice but to marry her as my primary wife. If you enter the household as a prestigious concubine, except for the official title, everything else will be no different from a primary wife. Ninger is the mistress of the house. For you to live in Qinfang Court would be improper. Make do with this side courtyard for now, and don't cause trouble.
Shen Zhiheng, what do you take my Xi family's status for?
Leju, throw him out.
Xie Lingyi, stop throwing tantrums.
Miss, at the polo match in 3 days, Shen Zhiheng and Su Jinning will definitely go together. Why should we go there just to invite trouble?
My trip this time is not for him. In my past life after Qinglang died, the maidservant I trusted the most has actually appeared by Su Jinning's side ahead of time in this life. It seems my death has another hidden story. Go and check if Su Jinning has bought any new maidservants recently. In 3 days, I want to see her at the polo match.
Miss, the maid we are looking for is not among those maids.
Not bringing her out now is because she is afraid I will get suspicious. Let's return to the manor.
I knew you would come. You threw such a tantrum a few days ago. Yet you still followed me here today.
Since Sister Xie is here, and your horsemanship is excellent, why don't you teach me? Lest I embarrass the Shen family in the future.
Ninger is right. Put some effort into it. Consider it sharing the burden for the primary wife in advance, as long as you teach her diligently. Tomorrow, I will have someone send the keys to Qinfang Court, to the Xi Manor. Once you enter our household, Ninger will certainly not treat you poorly.
Sister Xie, in the future, as wife and concubine, we will be of one mind and serve Brother Heng well. Even though I am the primary wife, I will never treat you poorly.
This sister of yours, I cannot accept. Your father is merely a fifth-rank coordinator of imperial music who cannot even reach the threshold of the Xie family, yet you think you are worthy of calling me sister.
If sister dislikes my humble background, I simply won't call you that. Why must you humiliate me like this in public?
Xie Lingyi, Ninger spoke to you out of kindness, yet you insist on using your status to oppress her.
Who is using status to oppress whom? This prince could hear the commotion from far away.
Greetings, Prince Yan.
Young General Shen is indeed blessed. Not only do you have a gentle and beautiful fiancée, but also a deeply devoted companion. This domestic bliss of having both is truly the envy of others.
Your Highness flatters us. Ning Er has ordinary talents and relies entirely on Brother Heng's affection.
What is the fun in just standing around? Shen Zhiheng. My hands are itching for some action today. Why don't we team up for a game of polo? My princess and I will be one team. Shen Zhiheng. Will you be bringing your fiancé or your beloved soulmate?
This subject will naturally bring Ninger.
Your Highness flatters me too much. I cannot even get onto a horse. Sister Xie has superb equestrian skills. It is only right that she accompany Brother Heng onto the field.
Using me as a shield for his entanglement with Shen Zhiheng, since Miss Su cannot even get onto a horse. What did you come to the polo field for? To retrieve balls, Chengchen?
Xie Lingyi, it wasn't enough for you to use your status to oppress others, but now you don't even know basic manners. Since you are unwilling to play, then give your piebald horse to Ninger as an apology.
That is a precious horse my father spent a fortune to find. Why should I give it to him?
I will trade this horse with you. The piebald horse is gentle and suits Ninger best.
A blind horse is not fit to be compared with my piebald horse.
Are you mad?
Your Highness, this daughter of officials is feeling unwell. I will not accompany you for this polo game. I take my leave.
My lady, with that arrow of yours, you didn't even show any respect to the Prince of Yan.
He is merely a prince right now. Why should the Xie family care about his mood? Go and investigate if Su Jinning has a cousin named Chun Tao, whose family is poor and relies on gathering medicinal herbs to make ends meet.
This servant has noted it down. I will send someone to investigate as soon as we return to the manor. My lady, we have some leads on Chun Tao, whom you asked to investigate. I have people keeping an eye on her hometown.
What has the Shen family been up to these past 2 days?
Shen Zhiheng stopped the construction of Qingfeng Court. Word on the street is that you offended him at the polo match, and once you marry into his family as a concubine, you will have a lot of hardship to endure.
Let them gossip.
Sister Xie, Brother Zhiheng was just acting out of anger the other day. Please don't take it to heart. Once you enter the Shen family in the future, we will all have to rely on him for our livelihood. A strained relationship benefits no one.
You may treat the Shen family like a treasure, but my Xie family thinks nothing of them.
Sister, why speak in anger?
Show her out. Pass on my word. Su Jinning is never to step foot into the Xie manor again.
Miss Xie, look at this. This is the bridal headpiece the madam specially commissioned famous Jiangyan craftsman to make for you.
Qinglang, pay the remaining balance. Su Jinning, This headpiece is worth 1,000 pieces of gold. I was only kindly reminding you that this headpiece is not something a concubine is allowed to wear. It was your own maid who failed to hold it securely. Compensate me for the full price. If you are short by even a single coin, we shall meet at the court of judicial review.
Brother Zhiheng, I only saw that the headpiece sister chose violated the rules for concubines, so I gave her some well-meaning advice. Yet sister was so aggressive and insisted that I was the one who broke it.
It is merely a headpiece. Is it really worth making a public scene over? Apologize to Ninger.
Calculate how much damage was done to this headpiece and send the bill to the Su Manor. This headpiece cost 3,000 taels of silver to make.
Xie Lingyi. Not only do you show no remorse, but you also try to extort Ninger. This slap is to teach you some discipline. Once you enter the Shen family in the future, do not behave so impertinently again.
How dare you hit someone?
Qinglang, go report this to the capital prefect. Tell them Shen Zhiheng, the eldest son of the general of the state, condoned Su Jinning's destruction of property worth 3,000 taels and publicly assaulted the daughter of the Grand Tutor. In the middle of the street.
Xie Lingyi, I dare you to report this.
Just watch me. Shopkeeper, keep a close eye on the evidence on the ground. If even one pearl is missing, I will hold you solely responsible.
This old subject has lived a simple life with only this one daughter, whom I hold as the pearl of my hand. Shen Zhiheng destroyed my daughter's dowry in the street and even slapped her in public. I beg your majesty to seek justice for this old subject.
How arrogant and overbearing. General Shen, is this the fine son you have raised?
This subject has failed in educating his son. I beg your majesty to punish me.
The Shen family's salary shall be suspended for 3 years. Shen Zhiheng has shown disregard for the law. He shall be punished with 30 military cane strikes immediately.
Xie Lingyi, you actually made your father impeach me in court, just because I didn't bow my head to you.
Madam Shen, is this the Shen family's apology gift?
Grand Tutor, Zhiheng has received 30 military cane strikes, which can be considered a lesson learned. As for this apology gift, I prepared it according to the standards of a noble concubine. That pure, gold kingfisher hair, crown swan, originally exceeded the status of a concubine anyway. These bolts of pink silk and gilded hairpins are just right for Lingyi's status when she enters our household. Grand Tutor Xie, once Lingyi enters the Shen family's gate, we will all be one family. Why be so petty about this apology?
Bringing such cheap things to our door. Madam Shen must have come to humiliate my Xi family on purpose.
Grand Tutor, why put on an act? Lingyi is deeply in love with Zhiheng. Everyone in the capital knows this. Sooner or later, she will still enter my Shen family as a concubine.
Nonsense. The daughter of my Xi family is to marry into the Prince of Hawaiian's estate and become the wife of the heir apparent. Does your Shen family even deserve to dream of her?
Men, throw them out. If anyone from the Shen family dares to step into the Xi manor again, beat them out with clubs.
Xie Lingyi, since you are so ungrateful, even if you beg me in tears in the future, I will never take you in as a concubine. Who dares touch me? I am from the house of the general of the state.
Miss, this is so satisfying. Last night, Shen Zhiheng was ambushed with a sack over his head in an alley. He was beaten black and blue, and was carried back to the Shen manor on a wooden door.
Ambushed with the sack?
Indeed. The Shen family reported it to the authorities overnight. They investigated all night long, but couldn't find even a trace of a shadow. I wonder which hero did it.
To beat Shen Zhiheng in the capital. and still wiped the clues so clean. Who else could it be but him? Deliver this to the villa of the Prince of Huainan's estate and hand it to the heir apparent personally.
Shen Zhiheng is arrogant. Giving him a beating is letting him off easy. I will arrive in the capital in a few days. At that time, I will surely bring the betrothal gifts to your door to marry you as my wife.
In both my past and present lives, the only one who would dare beat Shen Zhiheng and wipe the clues clean is you.
Miss, it is Su Jinning.
Sister Xie, I was locked up by my father for so many days, and I have admitted my mistake. Your anger should have faded by now.
Is this road owned by the Su family? Sister, what do you mean by this? Since it isn't, why are you blocking my carriage? Qinglang, tell the coachman to drive past.
Coachman, whip the horse. There's a dog blocking the way. Run it right over.
Xie Lingyi, since you are so heartless, don't blame me for what comes next.
Xie Lingyi, how could you be so malicious? Yesterday, Ning'er encountered bandits in the outskirts near the bridge. You clearly saw it. Why did you stand by and do nothing?
Encountered bandits? You believe whatever Su Jinning says?
When I rushed there, she was collapsed in the mud with her clothes disheveled. She told me herself that your carriage had just passed by the mountain path. Do you still want to deny it?
Shen Zhiheng, when I was 9, I was kidnapped by bandits. It was you who rescued me from their den and proved my innocence. You know very well that I hate bandits the most. If I had really run into them, how could I have just stood by and watched? 8 years of friendship. Yet it cannot even compare to a single lie from Su Jinning.
Why would Ning'er joke about her own life? Stop using what happened back then to pressure me. Ning'er's reputation has been ruined, and the Su family is forcing her to become a nun. I have already moved the wedding date forward to 3 days from now.
You marrying her has nothing to do with me.
There is no time to worry about the ceremony for taking a concubine. 3 days from now, I will send a small sedan chair to bring you into the manor through the side gate. This is your last chance. If you remain obstinate, don't ever think of entering the gates of my Shen family again.
Miss, he is getting physical again. I will go call the guards right away.
No need. Go to the streets and find me a few quick-handed men.
What does Miss want to do?
Put a sack over his head and beat him up again. The eldest young master of the Shen family is getting married in 3 days. His face ought to look a bit more colorful.
Miss, the job is done. Those thugs put a sack over Shen Zhiheng and beat him very severely. I heard even one of his front teeth was knocked loose. His wedding is tomorrow. I'm afraid his face is too ruined to be seen in public.
Shen Zhiheng didn't go to the capital prefecture to make a scene.
But he smashed half the room in anger, vowing to skin those people alive. But, strangely, those thugs have completely vanished. The Shen family guard searched the dark alleys thoroughly, but couldn't find a single trace.
It is him again.
Miss, the Huainan prince's estate has sent an urgent letter written by the heir apparent himself.
In the future, leave the rough work of using force to me. I will arrive in the capital tomorrow.
You act so overbearing and reckless. Where is the dignity of a noble family's daughter? Ning'er only said one wrong word, yet you actually want to punish her.
Shen Zhiheng only thinks I am cruel and ruthless, forcing me to endure in silence. Yet you are only worried about me dirtying my hands. Xiao Ce, see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Miss. Today is the auspicious day of our eldest young master's wedding to Miss Su. Out of sentiment for the past, the young master specially sent a sedan chair to welcome you as an esteemed concubine. If you don't get in now, you will truly never be able to marry for the rest of your life.
The daughter of the Grand Tutor is actually going to be a concubine for the general's estate. This sedan chair is so shabby. The Shen family is clearly doing this on purpose to trample on the dignity of the Xie family.
Bringing such a shabby sedan chair. You dare block the gates of my Xie family. The Shen family is truly pushing things too far. Men, smash it for me.
The eldest young master said that for his sake, Miss Xie even threw away her betrothal with the Huainan prince's estate, other than our Shen family, who in this capital would dare to marry her.
You insolent scoundrel. Tomorrow, I will certainly submit a memorial to His Majesty to demand justice from the Shen family.
Ha ha ha. Grand Tutor, please, save your breath. The entire capital knows that Lady Xie is deeply in love with our eldest young master. Even if you take this before His Majesty, today, she can only enter through the side gate of the Shen family. Xie Lingyi, if you refuse to come out, I will personally go in and bind you to the sedan chair. Where did this brat come from? How dare you meddle in the affairs of the Defender General's estate? Are you tired of living?
Open your blind eyes. The heir of the Prince of Huainan is here. How dare a mere servant like you bark in his presence?
Your lordship.
Even a dog of the Shen family dares to run wild in front of the Xie estate. I, your junior Xiao Ce, have arrived late. I have startled you, Grand Tutor and Madam.
You are too polite, your lordship. If your lordship had not arrived in time today, the reputation of our Xie estate would have been defiled by such filthy creatures.
I have come today with the betrothal gifts to fulfill the marriage decreed by the Empress Dowager and to finalize the wedding date for Lingyi and me.
Good. Please, come inside.
The Prince of Huainan's estate presents the betrothal gifts: 100 taels of pure gold, 1,000 taels of silver, 50 eastern pearls, 30 rubies, 20 jade ornaments, 1,000 acres of fertile land, and 20 storefronts.
These betrothal gifts is actually more generous than a princess's dowry. The Shen family brought a shabby sedan chair and expected to take the Grand Tutor's legitimate daughter as a concubine. They truly do not know their place. Haha.
We are completely finished.
Eldest young master. To the left is Madam's new chamber. To the right is the Qinfang courtyard. Where will you go tonight, my lord?
To the new chamber. Xie Lingyi has a stubborn temper. Let her stay alone in the Qinfang courtyard to reflect for a few days. Once her pride is broken, I will go see her.
Brother Heng, yesterday, Sister Xie entered the estate through the side door. She was somewhat wrong. According to the rules, she should come to serve tea to me, the concubine, today. But she has been pampered since childhood. Perhaps we should just waive this rule.
She is, after all, the Grand Tutor's daughter. There is indeed no need to be rigid.
Ning understands. At the polo match, Sister Xie already looked down on Ninger's humble origin. This cup of tea for the mistress. Ninger indeed does not deserve it.
Since she has entered the Shen family's gate, she must follow the Shen family's rules. Go to the Qinfang courtyard and tell concubine Xie to come and serve tea.
Young master, inside and outside the Qinfang courtyard, we have searched everywhere. There is no sign of concubine Xie at all.
Not in the Qinfang courtyard.
The gatekeeper said the maid sent to the Xie estate yesterday didn't bring her back at all.
What?
Xiao Ce, the heir of the Prince of Huainan, blocked the entrance of the Xie estate with his men, broke the sedan poles, and carried dozens of chests of betrothal gifts into the estate. They set the wedding date on the spot.
Impossible. How could she really marry Xiao Ce?
Brother Heng, today is the very first day of our marriage. Where are you going?
Get out of the way. I'm going to the Xie estate to demand an explanation.
An imperial decree from His Majesty. The Shen family received the decree. The Defender General's household has failed to manage its family affairs. Your Majesty, they condone their legitimate son, Shen Zhiheng, taking the Empress Dowager's bestowed bride as a concubine. Therefore, General Shen is demoted by 3 ranks, and his salary is suspended for 5 years. Shen Zhiheng shall receive 100 military cane strikes and is barred from holding public office for life. The female members of the Shen family shall be slapped 30 times immediately. Young Master Shen, Grand Tutor Xi, and Heir Apparent Xiao have already reported your attempt to take a concubine to the Emperor. The Empress Dowager was furious. His Majesty only spared your life out of consideration for the Shen family's founding merits.
My son. A whole 100 military cane strikes. The Xi family wanted to kill you.
Mother, the imperial physician said Brother Zhiheng's bones and muscles are injured, and he needs quiet rest. Please don't make yourself ill with crying.
If it weren't for promoting you, a low-born creature who can't be presented in public, how could Zhiheng have offended the Xi family? You jinx.
The Shen family's salary is suspended, and you've become a useless man barred from office for life. Did I scheme so hard to marry in? Just to suffer with you?
Lingyi. Lingyi. Don't marry him.
Now you know to miss her goodness? Too late.
My lady, Shen Zhiheng was beaten until he has only half a breath left. All the female members of the Shen family had their faces slapped. Now, even their main gates are sealed shut.
What are they saying outside?
The whole capital is laughing at the Shen family. They rejected the Grand Tutor's daughter just to marry a minor official's daughter, and even dared to make the heir apparent's consort a concubine. Ending up like this, they truly got what they deserved.
Barred from office for life, but that only stripped him of his power. What they owe me cannot be repaid with a mere beating.
Grand Tutor, Madam, the Imperial Bureau of Astronomy has matched our horoscopes. The 16th of next month is an auspicious day. I would like to set the wedding date for that day. I wonder what you 2 elders think of this.
Good. Since you are handling everything personally, Heir Apparent, I can rest easy.
With you being so devoted, entrusting Yar to you truly gives us peace of mind.
A couple of days ago, I saw Qinglan investigating a maid named Chuntao, so I had my men look into her as well.
Chuntao is actually Su Jinning's distant cousin. What did you find?
Every autumn, she goes deep into the mountains to harvest a rare herb and slip away to sell at a high price. But she is also acquainted with Shen Zhiheng. My men saw her entering and leaving Shen Zhiheng's study.
His study? Sword rain poison. In the short term, it causes miscarriage. In the long term, it seeps into the bones, causing death from gradual depletion of vital energy. No wonder I had that mysterious miscarriage in my past life and ended up bedridden with illness. Su Jinning, Shen Zhiheng, how utterly ruthless you both are.
Don't be afraid, I am here.
The concubine's pulse is healthy. This miscarriage is highly suspicious.
The concubine had a difficult labor and nearly lost her life. I fear this young master will be difficult to raise.
Ninu, just focus on recovering. This child, I will raise and educate him well for you. Haha.
No wonder the physician back then said my pulse was healthy, yet I still miscarried. And after giving birth, my qi and blood were completely depleted.
Lingyi.
It was Chun Dao. It was the poison Jianyu. He caused my miscarriage, stole my infant child, and took my life. Shen Zhiheng stayed in Qingfeng court day and night. My medicinal decoctions all went through his hands. How could he not know? He tacitly allowed it all along.
Lingyi.
I want Su Jinning and Shen Zhiheng dead. If I am punished for this, I will petition the Empress Dowager tomorrow. I will never let this implicate the Xi family and the prince's estate.
You and I are husband and wife, sharing one destiny. If you wish to kill, I will hand you the blade. If you scheme, I will cover your tracks. No matter what you do, the Prince of Huanan's estate and the Xie family will stand and fall together.
By imperial decree, the spring hunt will be held at the royal hunt grounds in 3 days. Officials of the 4th rank and above may bring their families to accompany the emperor, although the Defender General's estate is currently under punishment. In consideration of their founding contributions to the nation, they are specially permitted to attend.
This subject accepts the decree and thanks your majesty.
Founding contributions to the nation. That is indeed a fine shield for the Shen family. But this shield
won't last much longer.
Jinning and Shen Zhiheng already share a deep, deadly feud with me. He will definitely make his move during this hunt.
At the spring hunt grounds, arrows have no eyes. It is indeed a perfect opportunity.
Then I will make him draw his sword in front of everyone. We only need a witness of sufficient stature.
Leave the witness to me. The secret guards will also be deployed in advance. I will never let her harm you in the slightest.
Will this implicate you?
This concerns both of us. How could you talk of implication?
Brother Zhiheng, it is time for your medicine. Your injuries have not yet healed, and the wind at the spring hunt is strong. It is best if you do not go.
She will be there. This is my last chance to see her.
Just to see her, you would even throw away your life. Xie Lingyi, since you insist on fighting me, then die at the hunting grounds.
Lingyi. Lingyi, you are finally willing to see me.
The wind is a bit strong. Let us return to the camp tent.
All right.
Brother Zhiheng, everyone is watching. Let us go back.
Go away. If not for you, how could he not even spare me a single glance?
The spring hunt begins.
Weapons have no eyes in the forest. Just wait for me at the camp. Do not wander off.
Make sure you do not return empty-handed, heir apparent.
Did you not want a white fox scarf? Today, I shall hunt the most beautiful one for you.
My lady, Simona sent a white fox pelt from outside. The heir apparent certainly moved fast.
Bring it in.
Lingyi, I heard you wanted this, so I went to the back mountain specifically to hunt it for you.
The things I want, my fiancé will naturally deliver. As for your things, take them and give them to Jinning.
Lingyi, I know I was wrong. Those 100 military cane strikes woke me up. I shouldn't have forced you to be a concubine.
Have you said those words to Jinning?
As long as you are willing to return to me, I will beg His Majesty to rescind the decree. I will make her the concubine and marry you as my primary wife.
Right now, you are nothing but a useless man barred from officialdom for life. The Shen family has become the laughingstock of the capital. Why should I give up the heir of Huanan for you?
Lingyi, in the past, you would never have been this heartless.
Qingla Kuo, see the guest out and throw out that dirty thing.
My Lady Xie, this pristine white fox pelt was hunted by the heir. The one underneath was slipped in by someone else. The heir ordered them both to be delivered for you to dispose of as you wish.
Isn't this the one I just threw out? Shen Zhiheng didn't dare to come himself, but he certainly learned how to sneak things in.
Throw it into the brazier and burn it.
The pelt sent by the heir doesn't have a single arrow hole. He truly put thought into it.
You are so fortunate, Sister Xie. Not only do you have the heir doting on you, but someone also dragged his sick body to the back mountain to hunt a fox for you.
What is it? Is Madame Shen blaming me for burning that blood-stained pelt, making a fool of yourself?
Xie Lingyi, don't be so smug. You are only relying on the heir's backing. If you have the guts, let's have a competition.
Madame Shen, the beasts in the forest are fierce. You can't even ride a horse steadily. How can you compete?
We will compete on who shoots the prey first. If I win, you must hand over all your pelts, and kowtow to apologize to me in front of everyone.
And if you lose?
I will likewise kowtow and apologize to you. Do you dare to accept?
Fine, I accept. Qingla, prepare my horse. Jinning, the road to the underworld is long. You'd better watch your step. pointing your arrow right at me. Are you trying to kill me?
In this forest today, the biggest prey is you. As long as you die here, the court of state ceremonies will only rule it as an accidental fall from your horse, ending up in the belly of a beast.
You went to such lengths to steal Shen Zhiheng away, yet instead of staying home as the Shen family's young mistress, you come here to act crazy.
Shen Zhiheng has become a useless cripple. Why should I suffer along with him? Why were you born the Grand Tutor's daughter? With even Xiao Ce and Shen Zhiheng revolving around you.
You chose this dead end yourself. You can't blame anyone else.
Go to hell. Your Majesty.
What a gentle and submissive wife of the Shen family. If we hadn't seen it with our own eyes, we wouldn't have known the imperial hunting grounds had become a place for you to vent your personal grudges.
You actually wanted her life.
No, Brother Heng. Xie Lingyi intentionally lured me in here. She forced me to do it.
Did I force you to hide a repeating crossbow, or did I force you to pull the trigger?
Young Master Shen, this wife of yours, every single word she said just now was complaining about you being a useless cripple. Even this prince feels chilled to the bone listening to it.
Your past submissiveness. It was all an act.
Brother Heng, I just lost my mind for a moment. It was only because I care about you so much.
You make me feel...
Guards, arrest this vile woman and take her to the court of state ceremonies for a strict interrogation.
Xie Lingyi, you will die a horrible death. Xie Lingyi, you actually dare to come here. Do you think you've won? I am still a daughter-in-law of the Shen family. General Shen is a founding hero of the dynasty. His Majesty will lock me up for a few days at most. Once I get out, I will make sure you and Xiao Ce have no place to be buried.
The Shen family protect you. You publicly tried to assassinate the Grand Tutor's daughter. The Shen family removed your name from the clan registry today. A letter of divorce has already been delivered to the Su family.
Impossible. Brother Heng would never abandon me.
He cannot even save himself. How could he care about an abandoned wife like you?
Do you dare to use torture in the court of state ceremonies? Guards, help.
I won't do anything to you because I don't want to dirty my own hands.
Right. You have already been sentenced by the Court of State Ceremonies to be beheaded in 5 days.
What? On what grounds? Xie Lingyi, I refuse to accept this. Why is it that you have everything, while I schemed with all my might, only to end up with absolutely nothing?
At the execution ground in 5 days, I will naturally send someone to watch. You don't need to worry about it anymore.
In my past life, I suffered until my life force was completely drained, and my child died before even making a single cry. This debt of blood has finally been collected.
Just cry it out. All those grievances end today.
My lady, Su Jinning's corpse was carried out of the Court of Judicial Review.
Did the Shen family claim it?
His mother thought he brought bad luck and refused to let him into the ancestral tomb. The Su family also closed their doors to visitors. The Court of Judicial Review wrapped him in a frayed rope and buried him hastily in the wasteland outside the capital. My lady, your great vengeance has been avenged. Why do you not look pleased?
Su Jinning was merely a weapon. The one who truly wielded it is still alive and well.
Lingyi. Why do I have these dreams every single night? In the dreams, she became my concubine and was tortured to death. What on earth is going on? Lingyi. These are the tea pastries from the south of the city that you love most, and some freshly plucked peach blossoms. You can put them in a vase.
Young Master Shen, Su Jinning's ashes are not even cold yet, and you are already in the mood to pluck flowers.
That wicked woman deserved to die. From beginning to end, I have only had you in my heart.
You only have yourself in your heart. Now that the Shen family has fallen, you are merely unwilling to accept it.
That is not true, Lingyi. I have been dreaming every night lately. In the dreams, we were married. But you lived a very bitter life and finally died in my arms. I always feel that we were meant to be a loving couple and that I failed to protect you.
Those are not dreams. That is the life you owe me.
The life I owe you. What life?
Samana, come, drive him away. If he dares to come again, beat him out of here directly.
Lingyi, make yourself clear. What life is it exactly?
Prince Xie is plotting treason. Kill him on the spot. Xiao Ce is stripped of his title and imprisoned for life.
Prince Yan wants to use the imperial exam case to implicate Prince Xie. We must let Prince Xie clear his people in advance. Send the list to the secret contact point.
Yes, I understand.
You've been having Qingluan run to the tea house in the south of the city lately. That is Prince Xie's secret contact point.
Father, please forgive me. Prince Yan, if he ascends the throne, neither the Xie family nor the Prince of Huainan's mansion will survive. I had no choice but to take this risky move.
Hais. Although I am a loyal official to the throne, Prince Xie is benevolent and is indeed the choice for a wise ruler. Since you have made your decision, the Xie family will bear it with you. This is what I drafted overnight as a strategy for governing the country. Send it along.
That Prince Xie could avoid the imperial exam case this time and turn the tables on Prince Yan is all thanks to your list.
Prince Yan is narrow-minded. If he ascends the throne, those who support Prince Xie will have no way to survive. Even you would be imprisoned.
Lingyi, you don't have to. Shield the CF family and the prince's mansion from everything. Leave the rest to me.
Such rebellious words as imprisonment. When you heard them, heir apparent, you didn't even ask where I heard them from.
No need to ask. I know what you said is true.
You are too.
In the 3rd year of Prince Yan's reign, I was stripped of my title and imprisoned. In the 5th year, during a heavy winter snow, I escaped from the prince's mansion and stood outside the wall of the Shen family's side courtyard for a night.
That winter, I caught a cold that winter, and Shen Zhiheng cut off my charcoal supply, so the person outside the window was you.
I listened to you cough through the wall. My heart ached for you, yet I couldn't even protect myself.
So, on the day of the imperial betrothal at the pavilion, you accepted the marriage, secretly sent men to beat Shen Zhiheng, and blocked an arrow for me at the hunting grounds, all because you remembered.
Living this life over again, I do not seek the merit of supporting a new emperor. I only wish to keep you safe. Since you want to abandon the Prince of Qi, I will block the Prince of Yan's path for you.
Betting your entire life and fortune on me, aren't you afraid of losing?
With a beauty leaning in my arms, this empire is merely a convenient betrothal gift I won for you. If we lose, I will simply die with you.
I remember everything now. That wasn't a dream. That was our past life.
So what if you remember?
I remember you marrying me as a concubine. I remember Jinning harming you, and I remember the snow on the day you died in the side courtyard. Only when you drew your last breath did I realize that I cannot live without you. Xiao Ce. When the Prince of Yan ascended the throne in our past life, I shouldn't have pleaded for mercy on your behalf. I should have let him execute you directly.
Shen Zhiheng, now you are nothing but a ruined man, barred from office for life. If I were to kill you on this mountain path, His Majesty wouldn't ask a single question.
Lingyi, I didn't treat you poorly in our past life. You were lifeless all day after your miscarriage. Yet I didn't divorce you. I only sent you to the side courtyard to recuperate. What more could you possibly be dissatisfied with?
You connived with Jinning to kill the child in my womb, cut off my charcoal supply, and left me to die of illness. You call this treating me well? You sent me to the side courtyard only because you found me an eyesore to you and Jinning, and because I ruined your dignity as General Shen.
I have looked over the dates. It is an extremely auspicious day.
This subject thanks your Dowager Empress for your grace.
This subject's daughter thanks you for your grace.
I truly cherish this marriage.
The fate of my Prince of Huainan's mansion. I swear that in this lifetime I will have only Lingyi as my wife, and I will never betray her. father-in-law. The wedding arrangements have all been planned according to Lingyi's preferences. Please have a look.
Miss, the heir apparent sent over some fabrics for you to choose your favorite piece to make your wedding gown.
If none of them are to your liking, I will have people search for more.
Whatever the heir apparent sends is naturally of the finest quality.
Young Master Shen, you've owed tab money for half a month now. This is a small business. You'd better go drink elsewhere.
On the 16th of next month, she is going to marry Xiao Ce. Ha 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 ha. Lingyi, I was wrong. Please come back to me, okay?
Report.
In Jiangzhou and Lingzhou, the rivers have overflowed. It has caused a major disaster.
It has only been a few days since summer began, yet Jiangnian has already become a flooded land. Where are the officials from the Ministry of Revenue? When will the disaster relief funds be allocated?
Father, please appease your anger. The severity of the disaster in Jiangnian is still unclear. Your son believes we should first send an imperial commissioner south to investigate and only release the funds after verification, lest the disaster relief funds be embezzled.
By the time the imperial commissioner verifies everything, the Jiangnan region will already be littered with corpses.
Third brother, the treasury's money cannot simply be handed out blindly.
Father, seeing the unusual rainfall in Jiangnan, last month, I allocated funds from my private treasury to reinforce the main dikes of Jiangling in advance and ordered the stockpiling of grain and medical supplies. Currently, the dikes remain intact. Your Majesty only needs to decree the opening of the granaries, and the disaster can be contained.
Good. Prepared for a rainy day. Hear our decree. We appoint the Prince of Qi as the Chief Commander of Disaster Relief to head south to Jiangnan immediately.
The Prince of Qi has stabilized the disaster in Jiangnan. At court this morning, His Majesty praised him publicly, saying he has the bearing of an heir apparent.
The Prince of Yan wanted to use the disaster assessment to stall for time, so he could line his own pockets. This move by the Prince of Qi has completely cut off his source of wealth.
Having suffered such a major setback in secret, the Prince of Yan will likely be driven to desperate measures.
If he doesn't make a move, how can we catch him red-handed? Send word to the Prince of Qi to watch out for hidden daggers on his way back to the capital.
Your Majesty, an urgent report from Huaibei. A locust plague has swept through, and 30,000 acres of autumn crops have yielded absolutely nothing. The people have already resorted to eating tree bark.
Father Huaibei has always been prone to locusts. The local government should have measures in place. If we open the granaries at every turn, I fear it will only breed laziness among the officials. We should order the local gentry to donate grain to save themselves.
The gentry are hoarding grain to drive up prices, and the price of grain has already increased tenfold. By the time they donate grain, the people of Huaibei will have resorted to exchanging their children for food. Father, your son is willing to take the post of Imperial Commissioner and head to Huaibei immediately for disaster relief. If I cannot quell the locust plague, I will present my head to you.
Granted, we bestow the Shangfang sword upon the Prince of Qi, allowing him to act as he sees fit.
Your Highness, the grain in this official granary is military rations, without orders from the Ministry of War.
This lower official absolutely dares not open it. When a general is in the field, he may refuse even the Emperor's orders. The lives of the people are of paramount importance. Open the granary and release the grain. Pass down my command. The government will purchase locusts at 10 copper coins per caddy, have the people build bonfires, weave net bags, and catch locusts to exchange for grain.
His Highness the Prince of Qi, you have saved our lives.
My lady, urgent news from Huaibei. The Prince of Qi had the people catch locusts to exchange for grain, and the disaster has been resolved. The people voluntarily made a myriad people umbrella and are sending it to the capital right now.
At court this morning, upon seeing the myriad people umbrella, His Majesty ordered the Ministry of Rites to review the ceremonial protocols for appointing the Crown Prince. The Prince of Yan's faction looked absolutely miserable.
Having achieved 2 major successes in a row, and with the hearts of the people won, the position of Crown Prince is something the Prince of Yan can no longer stop.
The Prince of Yan has operated for many years. He will never sit idly by and wait for death. He doesn't have many cards left in his hand.
When driven to a dead end, one will flip the chessboard. Shen Zhiheng should also be going to seek refuge with him now.
The Ministry of Rites has already rushed to make the ceremonial robes for the investiture of the Crown Prince. Father is trying to cut off all my paths of retreat.
Your Highness, the Prince of Qi now deeply commands the people's hearts. If we wait any longer, the grain we stockpiled in our private army will be discovered sooner or later. Why don't we, before the investiture ceremony?
2 of the 3 major camps outside the capital belong to the Prince of Qi, with only the few thousand private troops in my hands. Attacking the Imperial Guard is like throwing an egg against a stone. We must have a cavalry force to tear open a breach from outside the city. And here I was wondering who it was. So it is the Shen family's useless son who couldn't even keep an eye on his own woman. Have you come to seek death?
Your Highness lacks a cavalry force to breach the city gates. I can bring that to your Highness.
You don't even have the qualifications to enter officialdom anymore. How can you give me a cavalry force?
By relying on the tiger tally in my father's hands, which can mobilize 30,000 Northwest cavalrymen.
What do you want?
After we succeed, I want the position of Grand Marshal of the military, and I want Xie Lingyi as my formal wife.
Good, haha. As long as you bring the tiger tally, I will appoint you as Grand Marshal. As for Xie Lingyi, I will personally tie her up and deliver her to your bed.
Zhiheng, stop causing trouble.
Father, your son is not causing trouble this time. Your son is going to secure the merit of helping a new emperor ascend for the Shen family. Once I become the Grand Marshal, Xie Lingyi will never be able to run away again.
Kill anyone who stands in my way. The first to enter the Hall of Mental Cultivation will be rewarded with 10,000 ounces of silver and be enfoffed as a marquis of 10,000 households. Father, you are old. Write the decree of abdication, and I will guarantee my 3rd brother's life.
Rebellious son, with just those few thousand private troops in your hands, you dare to plot treason and usurp the throne.
Brother, the Imperial Guard will arrive momentarily. It is still not too late for you to stop now.
The Imperial Guard, at this moment, they probably can't even get near the city gates.
Northwest Army, hear my command. Seal off the 9 gates. Do not let even a single bird escape. Lingyi, once I secure the merit of helping the new emperor ascend, let's see how Xiao Ce can compete with me.
Your Majesty, Shen Zhiheng holds the tiger tally, leading 30,000 Northwest Iron Cavalry. He has completely surrounded the capital. The Imperial Guard cannot get in at all.
Father, did you hear that? 30,000 Iron Cavalry. This empire belongs to me tonight.
Lingyi, Xiao Ce and the Prince of Qi have absolutely no way out tonight.
You led troops to besiege the city, just to tell me this.
Come with me. The Prince of Yan is about to ascend the throne, and I will be the Grand Marshal of the military. Whatever Xiao Ce can give you, I will give you double.
Grand Marshal, you are trading the lives of 30,000 Northwest soldiers for your own selfish gain.
I did it for you. As long as you come with me, I promise you the position of my primary wife. From then on, no one will ever dare to bully you.
The position of primary wife?
I swear, you will be my Shen Zhiheng's only primary wife.
Fine. I will go with you.
The city gates are not safe. This secret passage leads directly outside the city. The main camp is just 5 miles away.
30,000 iron cavalry. Aren't you afraid they won't follow your orders?
The tiger tally is right here in my robe. The Northwest Army only recognizes the tiger tally. With it, I am the absolute authority. Lingyi. Look, these 30,000 iron cavalry are entirely under my control. Once tonight passes, I will be the Grand Marshal, and you will be the most noble Marshal's wife.
Marshal's wife. Is this the betrothal gift you got? By trading the lives of 30,000 soldiers.
The victors become kings and the losers are bandits, as long as I can have you. What do a few lives matter? Ah. You. Why?
In our past life, you killed my child, cut off my charcoal supply, and let me slowly freeze and starve to death. In this life, you started a rebellion and slaughtered the innocent, and you call this a few lives.
Ah. A person like you, who acts like a god, looking down on ants, deserves to die.
The Prince of Yan has rebelled and stormed the palace. This is treason. Shen Zhiheng stole the tiger tally to aid the rebel. He has now been executed. The Huainan army has already sealed off this place. Whether you fight to the death or go home alive, make your choice.
The situation outside the city is settled. Huainan army, hear my command. Follow me to march straight in, quell the rebellion, and save the emperor. Kill.
Ram it again. We will get the abdication edict very soon. Xiao Ce. Where is Shen Zhiheng's Northwest Army? How could 30,000 iron cavalry fail to stop you?
Shen Zhiheng has been executed. All 30,000 Northwest soldiers have surrendered. Prince of Yan, you have no reinforcements.
Impossible. I have planned for so many years. Yet I actually lost to a mere woman of the inner court.
You lost because you used the lives of your soldiers as stepping stones, and even more because you underestimated her.
Second brother, the game is up. Confess your crimes.
Last night, the rebels stormed the palace. Fortunately, the ministers fought to protect us. The Prince of Qi commanded with great skill and caring deeply for the state. The Prince of Qi is hereby created Crown Prince, effective today, to take residence in the Eastern Palace.
This subject will spare no effort to live up to your Majesty's great trust and seek the well-being of the people.
Xiao Ce has rendered outstanding service in putting down the rebellion. Effective today, he shall inherit the title of prince and be enfoffed as the Prince of Huainan, bestowed with the royal dragon robe.
This subject thanks your Majesty for your supreme grace.
Xie Lingyi, step forward to receive your title. Though you are a woman, you dared to enter the enemy camp alone, secured the tiger tally, and dismantled the 30,000 Northwest Cavalry. I specially bestow upon you the rank of first-class noble consort lady and grant you the phoenix crown and embroidered robe.
This daughter of your subject merely did her duty as a subject. It is all thanks to your Majesty's great fortune.
rebellious son to plot for the throne. You colluded with the Northwest Army to besiege the city. Effective today, you are demoted to a commoner and confined to the imperial clan court, never to take a single step out for the rest of your life.
The winner takes all, the loser is vilified. Haha.
Confiscate his properties and execute his clan immediately. Within 9 degrees of kinship, all shall be executed without delay. As for the rest, let the court of state ceremonies investigate thoroughly. No leniency shall be shown.
Miss, the auspicious hour has arrived.
My Jiao Jiao, you are truly beautiful today.
Once you go to the prince's manor, you will be the princess of Hunan. If you ever suffer any grievance, the Xie family will always be your retreat.
Mother, your daughter will remember.
This 3-mile-long red bridal procession, the Prince of Huanan must have brought half of his family fortune.
Lingyi, we are home. The toasts in the front courtyard are finished. I have waited 2 lifetimes for this veil to finally be lifted.
In my past life, I never even tasted the nuptial wine. Once we drink this cup, in this lifetime, we will be completely bound together.
The bitterness of the past life shall remain entirely in that dream. Tonight, there will only be sweetness.
I have never asked you, when did you fall for me?
At the polo match, when you blinded Shen Zhiheng's horse with a single arrow, dropped your bow, and walked away.
That day I was full of hostility. I had none of the elegance of a noble lady.
I have seen plenty of elegance, yet it was your sharp edge that pierced my heart. That day, I thought to myself, such a decisive woman ought to be my princess.
In this lifetime, we must both live well.
With me here, in this life and this world, I will never let you suffer the slightest grievance again.
The rental taxes from the manor west of the city are 30% lower than last year's, yet the books are made to look flawless. Do you truly take me for a woman who only knows how to embroider?
Please understand, Princess. During this year's spring drought, the crop harvest was truly poor.
Spring drought? I already sent people to investigate yesterday. You secretly leased all the fertile land to merchants to plant fruit trees. Guards, take his authority token, give him 20 slaps, and throw him out of the manor.
You've been reviewing the accounts all morning. Why such a great temper?
There are hundreds of people in this household. How can I manage them without establishing authority? If I am not a bit harsh, they will dare to walk all over you in the future.
The rule of this prince's manor is whatever makes the princess happy. Leave these matters to the servants. The peach blossoms in the suburbs bloomed this afternoon. I will take you out for a spring outing.
With you spoiling me like this, aren't you afraid of making me completely lawless?
My Xiao Ce's wife is meant to walk with her head held high.
Congratulations, Your Highness. The princess has a pregnancy pulse of over a month.
Is that true?
Absolutely true. However, the princess has a constitution that leans toward coldness. She must rest quietly for the first 3 months.
Pass down my order. Everyone in the manor must tread lightly. Remove all scented decorations.
How could I be so delicate?
No, starting today, I will take a leave of absence from court. Wherever you go, I will be right there by your side. This is 100-year-old wild ginseng and top-grade bird's nest. Your mother personally went to the storehouse to select them. You must have them stewed and eat them every day.
Your complexion has become much rosier these past few months. Mother can finally rest easy seeing this.
This is tangerine peel and sour plum soup I brewed myself.
Have a taste. The sweet and sour balance is just right.
The wind is strong today. Let's skip the walk. I will continue reading last night's storybook to you, lest you get bored.
Congratulations, Your Highness, Princess. It is a healthy little heir.
Lingyi, you have worked hard. We will only have this one. We will never have another child again.
Bring him over and let me see him. Xiao Ce, choose a name for the child.
Let's call him Nianan. Nian as in remembrance, and An as in peace. I wish for him in this lifetime to be safe and peaceful throughout the years.
In my past life, I died in that desolate side courtyard without even any charcoal for warmth. I never imagined I would ever get to see a sight like this.
Those old nightmares have all faded away every spring from now on. I will stand here by your side, watching the fireworks light up the entire city.